Yeah, I'm Chad Wiebesick, and I'm the Director of Social Media for Pure Michigan.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we'll just jump right into the questions because we just have a few minutes. How did you get into digital marketing and communication?
Well, let's see. I started my career in 2000 during the dot-com boom. I got hired by an interactive advertising agency at that time in Ann Arbor called Beyond Interactive. And that essentially launched my career, and I've been exclusively in internet marketing since then. Specifically, I got the job working for Pure Michigan while I was doing some consulting work for Ann Arbor Spark, and I got to know Mike Finney, who's currently the CEO of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, that way. And so he recruited me when he got appointed by the governor to become the CEO of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So essentially I serve as the first ever social media director for that organization. About 80% of my time is spent managing social media for the Pure Michigan campaign.
Wow.
The rest of my time is spent overseeing a group of about 17 social media administrators in our organization that manage 35 social media channels. Collectively, it's about a community of about 2 million people or so.
Wow. Wow. That's exciting. So you did a talk earlier today, or you're going to do a talk later, actually.
Yes.
That's right. What is the takeaway that you want people to have from that? What is your main message?
I think a lot of businesses are perplexed, both large and small, on how to get started with social media and how to drive business results, right? If your business objective is to just talk to people, on social media, then talk away, right? But that's not going to drive any specific business action, right? So my talk today is focused on how businesses can align their social strategy to business objectives. For our case, for Pure Michigan, clearly we want to inspire and motivate travel to Michigan. So we do that through a number of different ways. What we find for any business, large or small, in the travel industry or outside the travel industry, regardless of the industry that you're in, we find two fundamental human truths. One is that people are bombarded with advertising messages. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, we've seen research that people are bombarded with 3,000 marketing messages a day, right? It's just ridiculous.
That's amazing.
And at the same time, compounding that, people don't trust brands, largely. They don't trust companies, let alone, they surely don't trust government, right? So how do you balance that? On the one hand, people don't have time to pay attention to your marketing message, right? Because they're bombarded with messages. That's one of the reasons why people like TiVo so much, right? Because you can watch TV on your own time. And that's why people like text messaging, because you can reply to that person on your own time. That's why we love email, because I can get back to you when I want to, right? Mm-hmm. So on the one hand, there's lack of attention, lack of time. On the other hand, lack of trust. So for any business, how do you balance that? The approach that we take is we focus on whom people do trust. Who do people trust? People trust people like themselves.
Right.
Friends and family. To a certain extent, they trust researchers and academic advisors and maybe trusted newspapers, right? So for Pure Michigan, everything that we share and everything that we say on social media aligns with our business objective. And we focus on making our fans the hero in everything that we say and everything that we share, right? So for businesses getting started out in social media, look at ways to identify who your biggest evangelists are, your biggest customers, your brand advocates, and empower them to become advocates on your behalf,
right,
and to tell your story to their friends and family on your behalf.
Wow, that's excellent. That is excellent. Okay, so this one is a little bit oriented towards this amazing event that Bud has put on and Eastern Michigan University and this new Center for Digital Engagement. What is your best advice for people just starting into digital marketing communication?
For somebody that's looking to break into the field, it's a great time to enter the field because businesses are clamoring for individuals that have that skill set, right? That understand the tools and the technologies, but also that understands the business, right? And how to connect those two. So for professionals looking to break into the field, I have two recommendations. One is to get some skin in the game and to look to create an opportunity where you physically manage a Facebook page presence for a business. Mm-hmm. To show that potential employer that, look, managing a personal Facebook page is one thing, but managing a Facebook page for a business is totally different. Not only are there different objectives, but there's different functions and features available in a business page that simply aren't available with a personal page. Things like being able to schedule a post. Mm-hmm. For instance, you can do that on a business page, you can't on a personal page. That's just one of many ways that they're different. So for a professional that wants to get a job with working with the business, look to see if you can volunteer for a nonprofit or a charity or maybe a local church, right, the Humane Society or some other organization, and volunteer pro bono, right, to manage their social media presence. So get some skin in the game, and my second recommendation would be to get out there and start networking, right? Join some professional organizations like the Social Media Association of Michigan, or the Social Media Club of Detroit, mm-hmm. or the Social Media Club of Grand Rapids, okay. Right? To get out there, start networking, because the truth is it's less about whom you know and more about whom knows you when you're networking and okay. trying to get a job.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. All right, excellent. So what have I not asked you about social media or marketing that you think would be valuable that I probably should have asked you?
I think one of the biggest blunders businesses make is, besides not aligning their social strategy to their business objective, is not identifying who their audience is and being selective in which social network to choose. Okay. There's dozens of social networks out there. Not every social network is right for your business. If your audience isn't there, don't waste your time.
That is key. If the audience isn't there, don't waste your time.
If your business objective is just to talk to people, mm-hmm. then talk away, right? But what's the ROI in talking, right? But if your business objective is to drive sales or to increase brand awareness, right, or to change consumer perception, social media is great. It's a great tool for all that. And I often get asked, does social media work? Does it work?
Good question.
And, that's like, frankly, that's like asking if a stick works. Does a stick work? Right? Does a stick work? Well,
for what?
For what? A stick is just a tool, right? So it works pretty well if you're trying to prop open a door, right? But it doesn't work well if you're trying to do delicate eye surgery, right? You got to use the right tool for the right job. So social media is great for driving traffic or increasing brand awareness or even sales to a certain extent. But there's other things that social media isn't good at. So depends upon what your objective is.
So if you manufacture and sell saw blades, you wouldn't necessarily have a Facebook page. Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe, maybe not.
Like industrial saw blades.
Yeah. You may be surprised that YouTube, right, may be a better network for you, right? Because if you have a complex piece of machinery, and it's a complicated, buying process, right, that your customer goes through, a YouTube video that talks about the intricacies of this complex machinery and how it works, right, might be just the thing, right? Or using YouTube for customer testimonials, or providing a behind-the-scenes look at your big organization that's selling these, complex machine tools. Mm-hmm. So YouTube might work, might be effective for you. Maybe it's LinkedIn, the largest B2B social network out there. But fundamentally identify who your audience is, where they spend time online, and then look at ways to connect with them in a meaningful way and not in some weird, awkward way where you're trying to like insert yourselves in these weird conversations.
Okay, that's very good advice.